Paula, thanks so much for your time and for talking to us today about Repower Regions. If it's okay with you, I'll ask you to introduce yourself.
Sure, Samantha. My name is Paula O'Rourke. I'm the Climate Action Coordinator with Kildare County Council. And a lot of people get very confused by that title. They don't know what it means, and I know it is confusing. So basically, it's my job to embed climate action through the organisation that is Kildare County Council. And in turn, we affect the communities that we work with. So basically, if you think of all of the County Kildare, we're in contact with every single community in some effort, whether it be frontline staff who are taking care of hedges, roads, lights, etc., all the way through to grant aids, community workers, etc. So we have plenty of ways of aligning with the communities, but it's really important to remember that every single staff member in Kildare County Council is also part of a community. So by making sure that they're educated on what's needed, you're educating the community indirectly as well.
Great. And how are you implementing the Kildare County Council's climate action plan in the region?
Okay, so it's a 5-year plan from 24 to 29. We all know that the national objective is that we decrease our greenhouse gas emissions by 51% by 2030. I say by, and that we increase our energy efficiencies by 50%. Now, we've got a number of ways of doing this. The first is internally, we have what we call our climate action team, which is representatives from all the various departments, so that we make sure that their work is aligning with that need. And if they have any questions, queries, we give them educational sessions, etc., to make sure that information is given them to put things forward and make things happen. And we've worked very closely with the innovation team, and we've had um, lean projects, we've had design thinking projects where people have come up with ideas of how to streamline, how to help the communities, etc. But what I would also say is, besides that, internally, all the staff were asked for their input into the climate action plan. So their information was taken in. We also went out to the communities at large, whether it be business, whether it be agriculture, whether it be the rest of communities, and we did consultation with them. We took in information from other consultations, and we have what we call our decarbonising zone. And that for us is Maynooth. So every county council has a decarbonising zone. Being Maynooth, the reason Maynooth was chosen was not only because it was supported by nearly 30 community groups, but who wanted to be the decarbonising zone. But we have the university, which has ICRIS and other capabilities. We're hoping now that in about 28 we'll have the electrification of the Dart Plus West, which goes through Maynooth and replace the diesel engine that's there at the moment. And we've an awful lot of open space and other items happening. Plus, the DAZ Maynooth is expected to take on up to an additional 10,000 people as requested by the government. So
Okay.
there's Newbridge and Maynooth have both been categorised as those areas. So we have to look at how we're going to plan the location of the local area plan that's just finalised, be more sustainable about how it's progressed, and looking at the effects of that on climate biodiversity mitigation adaptation measures. So it's complex, but if we can bring it out there, should help. And even the demo house that we've done allows people to understand on a daily basis how they can live more sustainably within their house and within the curtilage of their house, transport, etc. So we're doing everything we can to demonstrate and demystify what is required by the individual, the household, and the community.
Very good. And you mentioned you work with Maynooth University, 30 community groups, you're working with agriculture, business, SMEs. What other partnerships or even with public bodies are you working with?
There's too many, but in a good way, to be honest with you. So we've everything from, we're working with the likes, as I said, Maynooth University, working with TUS in Dublin.
Mhm.
Through research that we're doing in Maynooth, we've also got outreach to UCD, DCU, Trinity College. We're working with TUS in Turles as well. Like we have put our tentacles out a lot to the universities. Some projects are small, some are large. We're also one of the projects that we're looking at that came from alternative maintenance. So that basically is looking at how we can maintain public open spaces without the use of glyphosate and chemicals. And that's been implemented. But the doctorate is finishing the end of this year, so literally December of 25. And we'll have more information then for the frontline staff on how to do that. But that in turn came to lead us to the question of what we can do with our waste grass. So grass that we cannot give as feedstock to animals. So it could be polluted with litter, dog fouling, etc.
Mhm.
So we've now have a whole dashboard with Maynooth University Train AI, and we've experimented in an anaerobic digester and seen how much gas we can produce. And now we're looking to see if we can, with another university, we're just starting to put the feelers out, how we can convert our diesel engines to be either dual powered or go solely to biogas, because we're going to be creating the biogas anyhow, so we can actually use it in a fleet. There's potential there
Hmm.
to have three-quarters of the fleet potentially change over to biogas, and that will massively change our carbon footprint. So there's a lot we're doing. That's just research. I mean, we also work, as I said, with the rest of the community. So we have what's called the Climate Champions. We started that this year.
Hmm.
And it means, doesn't matter if you're an individual, belong to a housing estate, a business person, a farmer, a student, it doesn't matter who you are. Anyone can apply to be a climate champion. So the idea of that is to show people what is happening in their area, in their community. And it allows people to showcase what they're doing, be identified as a person as champion. And we've got three levels. So gold for us is the oak tree, because the oak actually supports over 500 species. So it is a fantastic tree.
Yeah.
The second, then we have silver birch, which is known, don't get me wrong, but Kildare has a lot of boglands and wetlands. So silver birch is something that would naturally colonise those areas. So again, we're reflecting Kildare's need. Plus, if you think about the oak, is actually part of our symbol of the county. And then when it comes to the, how to put it, the bronze, we
Hmm.
have hawthorn.
Oh, okay.
Hawthorn has an awful lot of mythical and folklore
Yeah.
associated with it. But it's a small tree, but it shows that you're trying to get up that ladder of change. So it's really important for us that we have that behavioural change. And we have a Creative Ireland project as well. I talk about this all day long, but I'm just going to finish on this one. Creative Ireland, like we have a project at the moment where we've put in we're using fun theory basically
Hmm.
to get behavioural change. So the first thing we've done is we put in bins after a serious amount of consultation with everybody in Maynooth, and we put in bins that when you throw anything in it, depending which side you do, you get different musical chimes.
Oh, wow.
Kids are
Okay.
now running around looking for items to put into those three bins so they can get the different chimes going. I think some of them are starting trying to coordinate the three bins, two in the main street, one in the square off the main street. I think they're trying to coordinate with each other, going, if I throw that one in, can you get that bit? And then I'll have that bit of music, and then it goes to the next one. So they're having great fun with that one. And we have another few elements coming in. So we have game of choice online. So you can actually, it doesn't matter if you're 3 to 103, you can use this game to work out how good or bad you are regarding sustainability, or where you could improve. I shouldn't say bad, but where you can improve.
Hmm.
And the other thing I would say is we're going to put in totem poles. That sounds weird.
Oh,
But
yeah.
those and the seats that we're going to be doing are completely made from plastic that has gone through the return scheme, and from plastics we found in the Irish Sea. So what we're doing is showing people how you can reuse that. So the seating is the whole idea behind the seating, is that people can have climate conversations. The
Lovely.
idea of the totem poles is that they will outline areas that are on the Heritage Trail in Kildare, and allow people to consider that heritage with regard to climate. And we will also have, we're just waiting to finalise this bit, is that we will have like kinetic energy equivalents, where as you pass or you walk into the library on the main street, that it will come up with information on a screen based on the energy that's created by those passing a certain point. So we're trying to show people that you can do more with less, and just be creative about your thinking. It's not all just dull and boring. You can have fun with it and enjoy yourself.
I really like those. It's really creative and interactive. Um, in terms of the cross-departmental work across climate action, economic development, and community, I suppose how does the council and its work support the shared goals of Repower Regions?
Oh, it's like, how to put it? We are starting to be more interconnected with research, and seeing how that research or innovations can then allow us to how to put it, reduce our need, or try to stop those tipping points from going over with regard to the work within Kildare and Ireland. And it's really important that we do interact, for example, ourselves with the local enterprise office. We do a lot of our interaction. They're part of our climate action team as well. And we're trying to look at how we can enable basic education where required, all the way through to more advanced education, to try and get people to understand that we need their expertise to solve the problems. And that can be as simple as looking at HVAC. So everybody knows you have to cool and heat your buildings,
Hmm.
but how to do that sustainably is a big issue. And people are so used to just using fossil fuels, like oil, gas coming into a very large building. Just take ours, Kildare, for example, is a large building. Now you have to look at more sustainable ones. So you have to put people educated in this area to make them more efficient, more sustainable, and let those systems work in correlation with other systems in the buildings. So it's not about taking out air and bringing in air only. It's about them working and collating with a need for the energy sources and the energy input to be more efficient on that, looking at how we can use sustainable solar, wind, etc., to power these systems on site and off site, and making sure that we lead out in the community, because that is our remit with government. They
Hmm.
want local authorities to lead out. So if we can show people a way forward and give them that education, it makes it a lot easier for them to make that behavioural change than saying from here, just do it.
Hmm.
Because they need a path
You're
to
leading by
lead them down.
example.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do. And we work with absolutely everybody we can in any area to make that happen, but especially with repower. Because everybody got a shock, basically an energy shock
Yeah.
when Russia invaded Ukraine.
Hmm.
And we suddenly had this issue of like, how are we going to power everything? How are we going to get our grain? How? And in fairness to the EU, they went, we have to become more self-reliant.
Hmm.
And this repower program allows that to happen. It gives us the finance to look at areas and see how that's possible. So it's going back to the principles of being more sustainable ourselves as a nation
Hmm.
and as part of the EU. And let's help each other to make it happen.
Great. And Paula, would you have any advice for other regions who are looking to do something similar?
The first thing I'd say is look out there and see what already has been done. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Hmm.
So, for example, on a lot of our projects, we would already invite or tell other county councils what we're doing, so that if they want to partner on it or if they want to get the information that we've gathered so far, we're willing to share that.
Great.
We're a public body. We're not a private company that should hold on to their information. It's about us sharing that wealth of knowledge, and in turn, they share with us. But I think the highlight of engaging with others and getting them to understand what's possible opens up their minds. So we're very lucky to have an innovation team that we all get to work with in our offices. They're
Mhm.
absolutely brilliant. Two ladies, but they're brilliant. And I was at a talk yesterday, and it just brought it home to me even more why we need to innovate, and we're good at that. And people are willing to look beyond how we normally do things and streamline and make things better for ourselves and for the communities we serve. But the other thing we're trying to do is look at where we do not need to innovate, where we actually need to pull back. So, for example, you might have a system that you have to use, and it's how to put it, it's too complex
Hmm. Yeah.
for the needs of what we have. So you need to pull back, make it simpler, streamline it, and look at what is the result we need and work your way back.
Okay.
So it's the design thinking
Very good.
is really useful. And then from there, we look at systems thinking. So what I would say to anybody starting out, look at what's there, look at what money is available, see what your capabilities are and your capacity are, who
Hmm.
do you need to partner with, and then say to yourselves, are we definitely going for this or not? Make sure you can do it. Yes, you'll be pushing the edges everywhere with your time, your energy, etc. But if you can, it gives you energy as well, knowing that you're doing something that will help. And that's the main thing for me. It's the job satisfaction. It's
Hmm.
really good.
Fantastic. Well, wise words and seeking a sustainable solution and not reinventing the wheel. They all sound like good places to start. Thanks so much, Paula.
No hassle. Anytime.
Thank you.